ask him to support us.
Yeah. Chairman.
Hi. I saw you on TV.
I can see you're watching. You're watching your competition.
I saw both of you. I saw everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you.
How's been your visit?
Excellent.
Fantastic.
It's good to see you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
I think I know all this. Excellent. My pleasure. Shall we go upstairs?
Sure.
Oh yeah, okay. So we have two of them. We'll come with me and I go to the other side. Let you know how delighted I am to receive you at the channel's global headquarters. The Abuja headquarters is the national headquarters. And we are very dug in with the SDGs. You know, we've had a very fantastic relationship with the United Nations and the United Nations Development Program and all the different parts of the UN. So as a cub reporter, I always was dreaming about working for the United Nations Radio. I was very young because I had a friend there who was there, and it was just it was something that it was a good
Nigerian friend.
yes, a Nigerian friend. It's late now. So and I was just starting my radio career at that time. Yeah, so I would say I want to work for the UN.
Radio.
Yeah, I started with radio. I stumbled into radio. Worked for 5 years on radio, and then switched over to television. And it's been an interesting journey. 30 years of channels, but almost 5 decades of radio and television.
Wow.
So it's
Impressive.
so that's a grandpa on the industry that is.
More like icon.
So welcome. We're delighted to have you. I just want to quickly introduce members of my team. If I ask them to introduce themselves, so I don't make any mistakes. Sometimes as you grow older, the names just fly off your head. Sometimes I do know all their names and their designations. But please,
Can I start?
by all means,
Thank you
yes.
so much indeed. My name is Kingsley Durant. I'm the general manager in charge of Channel Soccer. I also superintendent of partnerships and corporate communication.
Channels Academy.
Channels Academy is the training arm of Channels Television, which was 2017, with the aim of deepening the skills and providing training for Nigerian journalists and African journalists.
So welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here and to be in your house, actually, because I think we've always met somewhere else for these interviews. So when Elsie said you were inviting us before the interview, I really appreciate it and welcomed the chance, because as you say, yes, we've had a relationship with channels for quite a few years. I was telling Kingsley before we came in here that being in the diaspora now and consuming news from Nigerian news from such a distance, I've been quite impressed with the way the industry has matured. Greater independence, as you say, and more objectivity, but also your coverage of social and development issues, but also political issues, but always making the link between those two is something that it's music to our ears. Actually, sit down and listen to the programs, because you are always trying to get to the heart of the matter in these interviews. And I think a healthy debate is important for our progress, and that debate coming from different angles. And you have huge content here, important content, because Nigerians like debate. and you find all the programs spirited, lots of passion,
enthusiasm, and vigor.
coming through. And you've got also, I think, very good anchors, because what I find is people are always trying to get also to solutions. Don't just talk about the problems, but what do we do about this? So with that kind of approach, I think a partnership between UNDP, because what we do, we're all about inclusive development, leaving no one behind, creating societies that are much more equal, and where systems foster shared prosperity. And of course, you said we're big in on sustainable development goals. That's another reason to really connect, because we're here to advance those goals, even if they're sort of limping right now. We still believe that it's the best framework that the world. We will not be able to get consensus on the SDGs today.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
With the geopolitics that is out there. So we have it. It was born in 2015, and even if it is facing challenges, we need to hold on to it. And for us as UNDP, we are saying this remains the framework on which we can all shoot for a more sustainable future. So, but we can't do this alone. We need, the role that media plays is quite incredible in terms of narrative, first of all. And I'm glad you're also Africa facing, because being the Africa director, what keeps me up at night is how Africa's story is told. And it has been damaging to our ability to actually be liberated from poverty, because Africa has remained the face of poverty in the media, in global media. And you offering news from an African perspective can help us shift that, because that has implications for mindset.
Absolutely.
And this is not a poor continent, but we have poor people.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is because the world has sort of convinced Africans that they are at the bottom, and they don't have the ability to free themselves. So really, just to say, we really appreciate co-creating solutions on how we tell Africa's story, how we help build back the confidence of the people. Because without confidence, it's going to be very difficult for us to lead our own development. And narrative has a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It strikes a chord in some of the things that happened to our organization many years ago. Long before COVID, we came very close to signing an agreement with CNN International, and they were trying to buy into channels, and we were on the verge of signing the agreement. On the eve of the signing of that agreement, we had a rethink, and we said, "Oh my! If we sell 40% to, it was to be CNN channels. If we sold 40% of channels, then it meant that we wouldn't be able to control the narrative anymore, because they would have a say in the editorial." So the next day came, and I went to them and said, "By the way, we'd like to just back off this for now in London." And all the networks there, all the major networks have been to us before there was a time long before COVID that they all were swooping on channels. So we decided to keep it as an African broadcast.
Very good.
Otherwise, we won't be able to tell our story. So Jolly would have collected the millions, and then, we'd bye-bye to my friends. Let's do broadcast. And I said, no. The important thing, the greater thing is for us to be able to continue to be in the driver's seat and control the narrative. And that's how channels is growing and growing, and we're trying to roll out a Pan-African news service in the nearest future. So.
Do you have any collaboration on the continent?
Yes, we do. We work with Joy TV in
Ghana.
we look for stringers in Kenya as well. But now we're trying to get. He's just got back from Zambia, and part of the one of the reasons he went there too, apart from working with the Zambian independent television station, is to see how we can get somebody to work with in that region, and then we're going back to East Africa, and we're doing the same thing in North Africa, and so we can have all our tentacles spread around the continent. Yes, and then we have somebody covering the health for us now. Yeah. So that's our next major project.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we can offer this service to the hotels, to cable companies around the world, and yeah, see how this is the news about Africa from an African perspective.
This is great. I can tell you the diaspora is really thrilled with the developments, the fact that, you know, we can access live broadcast from anywhere in the world through YouTube. And
It's amazing what YouTube has done. Yeah. And I must commend your work and what the UNDP has been doing in Nigeria, and not minding what's happening around us in the US and elsewhere, but it gives it its stability. So we want that to continue, and bravo on what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. So how does it work with the bees?
So we produce content together. So it's one of the content is called Gist Nigeria, and we do some collaborations as well.
Okay.
This studio was built by both of us, so that's why I have the colors of channels and BBC together. So BBC is red, channels is blue.
Because the BBC is deep in Africa.
Yeah.
So in Nigeria. Where
Sure.
is their studio?
Where they
their
are-
offices?
Yeah, they are reduced.
Close some of these cameras out the way. But over here we have the music and this is our multi-studio music facility. So this is all the sports news, the sports section. This is the business section, and this is the main news desk over here. Where we do the nightly news. Yes, yes. The 10 o'clock news. Yeah.
It's the most watched.
Yeah.
So this is the studio. It was a concept design by obviously the chairman himself. We worked on how we're going to set this up, and we were desirable of a multi-shooting facility that will allow us to do more interlinked news and make it a little more connected. But anyway, so this is where we are. I think I'm going to take some pictures here. This is a good photo.
They are
Behind the desk.
Okay. What do we? This is front desk right here. Phil.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I get this kind of well? Yes.
So that we can.
It's a beautiful space.
Very good.
Good. All right.
Thank you.
How is your gender balance? I like the way.
Once, twice in a quarter, sometimes. But we do have programs. We take care of audio, the audio, incorporate the audio. But it's used every day because we use this. This is a screen actually. It's one of the largest screens. And we use it for our morning shows. So during the election period, we invite
Debates. Okay.
The beauty of this particular place, though, is that it's used robotic cameras for pretty much all the work. So it's no cameraman, easier workflow, and easier production.
Motion operated? It's motion sense.
Yeah, robotic.
It's robotic.
Remote
So
control.
remote control. So when people are speaking, it will focus on you.
Yes, the cameras are controlled from a console in the main control room. One person can control 6 cameras and do all the macros. We only occasionally use a live person for the drill right now.
Do you know what has changed Nigeria's image in relation to the world?
It's the music.
The music and the movies.
And the movies.
Is that also your building?
Yes, yes. That's
And where is the academy?
the academy is out there. And headquarters.
I like that. You're a rebel. Yeah, because Vale. Okay. Okay. You know my name?
Okay,
I'll tell you Thanks.
Thank you so much indeed.
I think you're carried here. Oh, is it carried here? Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you, and I had already seen you, so it's a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank
Well, next time you come, we'll let you go.
Oh, yes.
I was in Zambia. Yes.
Sign off.
You have the academy.
So we do voiceover. Now we are teaching the live from Takwa. Hope you took our people. We focus on that. Yes. The channel can tell you. Okay, sorry, what's the name? United Nations Channel.